Testing, testing. Is that working? Okay, it is working. Is that not pin? No, it did pin. Okay. Hey, what's up? Hello, Alex. I didn't know you had subscribed to the channel. Why aren't you using your Mr. Herpenderper screen name from Roblox? That's what you should be using. Big fan. Yeah, so why do I have this key? Oh, that's from work. It's one of the office keys. You definitely should have. I don't remember what I called it. I know when I was on Roblox, I'm like, oh, it's whatever it seemed to have said to me. Yeah, just a quick hang tonight. I have some more organization to do, but as anybody who has either been over here or has seen, my shop is usually a complete pit. Yeah, I know Ella remembers. Yeah, I should be in Greece, but I'm not. I'm on the third wave. I'm kind of on hot standby because I didn't have my travel card. It expired. I'm actually almost kind of happy it hasn't happened because well, all those people that are going out there right now, I think they're in a hotel for a day, and then they're going to be sleeping on the hangar bay, mattress on the floor. They told us to bring a sleeping bag because there's limited berthing. They'll be riding the carrier, but it'd be a cool experience though to, one, take a carrier out to sea, and two, go fix an aircraft carrier while it's out to sea, basically in a war zone. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's still a chance I could go out sometime in the next week or so. I should have my travel card by Friday. My new card. So anyway, yeah, I got to sort of organizing and cleaning the garage this weekend. I mean, I've still got a bunch of crap everywhere, and that's what I need to do is sort through that, put things away. But I got stuff cleaned up, and I found this chunk of wood that I was looking for several weeks ago that I'm going to fill with resin, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe turn it into a couple candle holders. I think that's what I'll do is I'll chop it up into 4 or 5 pieces. Turn it into some candle holders. Actually, I might do that. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll do the resin fill tonight. It'll be real interesting though, because actually, I'm gonna turn on the big light. Hey, let there be light. Oh, I am gonna work on the camera prop a little bit tonight too. Hey, what's up, Jays Brown? Welcome. Yeah, I got the new card coming this week. So yeah, maybe a little bit better light there. But fill this with resin. Now, I've not had good luck with blanking off a piece like this. All I really have is steel tape, or aluminum tape, rather. I don't have another good way to do it that I can then peel off. But that's fine, because even if the aluminum tape sticks to the resin a bit, I can still just cut it down and make it work. But it's a really cool piece. I mean, it's got this huge chunk taken out of it. I think it'd be really cool once that's filled with resin. and I'm partial to blue. It snowed. It was 70 degrees here today, and that's what it's going to be this week. Snow and sleet. Wow. At the end of March. I don't miss it at all. I'll tell you what. Yeah, that's one more thing I need. Well, I do. I'd really like to have. That would make some really cool something. I mean, I could cut that down into pen blanks, do some cool stuff with it. But just being this really cool piece of walnut with all these little nooks and crannies, if I fill that with a semi-transparent resin, I think it ended up looking pretty cool. So maybe I'll wrap that tonight and get it filled and see what happens. So yeah, I found that piece I've been looking for a while, but it may not look like much, but especially because I still have a bunch of crap on the laser and a bunch of crap on the saw and on the CNC. But I actually did clean off my workbench and got all the sawdust off of it. Of course, I had to put some stuff back up there. My table saw is covered with stuff, and I got a bunch of crap in the corner over there. But I can walk in here. I have space. It's not full of clutter, or not as full of clutter as it was before. And there we go. Yeah, I'm making progress. I'm getting there. I spent all day yesterday emptying out the garage, moving stuff around, vacuuming. I filled up this 5-gallon bucket twice with sawdust and burnt it all. So yeah, it was a thing. Did a lot of work. Still a lot to go. And I'm finding all kinds of interesting things that I forgot that I had along the way. That's what happens when you just pile crap on top of crap and let it get covered in 3 inches of sawdust. Yeah. So, but the camera prop. I've got the electronics over here, but I need to build the body for it. And this is going to be the reflector / bulb. Of course, I'm not going to use aluminum foil. That was just a test to see how reflective that would be and see what it looks like. But I got this glass bulb. The LED is going to face the metal part of it, and this is going to face the audience. I got to get some Mylar or silver leaf or something like that to put inside of this. That's better reflector than this aluminum. It's not quite shiny enough. It works, but it's not quite the effect I'm looking for. But I want to build the body for it, and I thought about it today. So I'll show you what the camera is going to look like. Whoops. Go back. See if I can pull this image up. Perfect. Whoops. So this is what I'm going to make here. Old style 1940s era Graflex camera. So in order to get this effect here, this kind of accordion bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, Dad, actually I'm going to use the those blanks you sent me, the plaque blanks, and I'm going to cut them with a bevel around the edges and just stack them together. And I'm going to hollow out the inside of those to fit all the electronics in. And I'll build a case frame there. I'll build a front piece. Just find something to use as a lens. I'll use a piece of PVC that I spray paint silver. The bulb, the LED with the reflector will go in there. And then, yeah, I'll add little bits and pieces as I go to kind of make it look as accurate as possible while not wasting a bunch of time with superfluous details that really won't matter in the end because it's going to be kind of hard to see. But at least from a distance. But I need to get the general effect, the general idea of it. So I'm going to use those award blanks, some of them anyway, to give it that look. Oh my! You might still be golfing in 2 weeks. Wow. Hello, Gimme. Candy Shriner's big. Oh, trying to get to that number one spot there. That's cool. Yeah. So let me pull out some of those blanks. I've got them tucked away underneath over here because I haven't cleaned this corner yet. Oh. I'll make sure I have what I think I have, and then I'm going to go for, oh, I do. I do. Got a bunch of these things. Some of them actually already have a bevel on them. I just got to put the other bevel on there. Some of them are already square. Perfect. Less cutting for me to do. Shoot. Okay, well, I guess I have one square. But the other ones I can take and... Yeah, there we go. I can cut them down, then put the bevel on there. I think we're going to do the bevel with... with the router. So I've got, like, this is the perfect size right here. If I had more of these, but I don't. There's only the one as far as I see. This one's almost the same size, but not quite. But I've got a bunch of these ones here that I can cut down square, route the bevel on both sides. Who's going to notice the camera during the performance? Well, hopefully lots of people, because it's going to be central to the show. Or at least it's going to be a major part of the show is someone taking a picture and then the image gets unfurled on big picture frame. But I want to get this prop down and get all the electronics put into it before I really go to town on anything else. Yeah, I can take a handful of these, 6, 7 of them, and put that 45-degree bevel on it with the router table. And that'll give that look right there. Then I got to carve out the inside of it, which I thought about doing it with the CNC. That's what I was originally going to do, was some plywood and just cut out the center of it, cut out the square, and then do the rest of it on the router table. I don't know. I could do it with a jigsaw too. It's going to be hidden on the inside. I just need the volume there because I need to hide the battery and all the other electronics. But that battery is a pretty good size. Like, basically, this box right here, I got to fit all this junk inside of there. Yeah, you did send those to me. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've got them sitting there. I haven't used them yet. And I'm going to use some of those for this project. But get that battery in there and the other electronics. I think that'll work. If I had that, yeah, that would definitely fit that battery inside there. That's the biggest piece. Although I probably want that in the back of it and then fit some of the electronics inside of this part of it with some of the wiring. So anyway, that's something I got to get done. here in pretty short order. You got some more? I definitely don't need any more. Not right now, anyway. Yeah, so these ones I can put back. Put these ones over here by the saw so I can trim those down. And let's grab a few more. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, should be good. I also try to make it not too heavy. I'm trying to balance the weight a little bit. So I think hollowing those out is going to help with the weight piece of it. The actual like box part of it, the main body of the camera, I think I'm just going to cut plywood on the laser and piece it together, glue it together, and then mount the two. But we'll see. So that's one project I got to get going. And like I said, trying to get a lot of this mess organized. So it's not just piles of stuff. I got rid of 75% of the sawdust that was just everywhere. And threw out a bunch of stuff, burnt a bunch of stuff. Actually, I probably burned some stuff I shouldn't have, but I did anyway. Just tired of it laying around. And I got to rearrange some things. That's another big piece of this, is moving some equipment around so I can have a good working space, because I don't right now. And this fell off. One of these days I'll figure out a good way to mount this stupid discharge bag for my oh shoot, that did not go as planned. Oh, not any more zip ties. I just put some away. But the dust collection bag for my dust collector, that's trying to get that, find a good way to mount that. I did it with zip ties, but it fell off. So I gotta find a better way. Ooh, I can actually get to those zip ties because I didn't put them in a drawer. I also have a makeshift whatchamacallit, I guess air purifier, not really purifier, but air dust collector. I gotta get some filters for it. Let's see here. A little ridgy piece. Boop. I think that's, yeah, that's big enough, just two of them. I don't need the third. Hey, what's up, Smallwood? How's it going? Yeah, let's see if I can get this mounted. So this dust collector, the stupid, like, the hose clamp that comes with it is terrible. Like, it's such a bad design. So I tried zip ties last time, and it worked. It's just I bumped it, and the zip ties fell off. It has this, like, rope cinch thing, but that doesn't really work at all. God dang it. I don't know, I'm trying to find a good solution for this, because it just does not want to stay on. I don't like this design. Oh, I think I just tightened that too much. I didn't have it in place. Oh, I got it. I got it. No, I don't got it. grab a couple more zip ties. Try it again. Oh, my son got his first job today. I took him down to his interview. Got a job. Tired? Yeah. You know the feeling. I've been putting in some long days lately. And if I'm lucky, I'll be putting in some really long days. Heading out to the med to go help fix the Ford after it suffered a pretty serious fire casualty. They're sending a bunch of people from the shipyard and some Navy folk out there to go help restore the ship. All right, let's see here. If I can hold that. Nope. Oh, this sucks so bad. There's just no good way to do this. I just don't have a good way to keep that up there while I'm trying to tighten the zip tie. Oh, I think I might have gotten it. Hopefully I didn't speak too soon. Okay, I think I got it finally. All right. Good, hopefully that stays up. Yay, one thing accomplished. Whew. Put over a 55-gallon drum out of filter, stacked. I thought about that. I thought about basically making my own version of this right here. Make it a dust deputy on a 55-gallon drum or a box. I could just build a box. I built my own sort of dust deputy once, and like it worked. It wasn't the best. I went and bought this one because I thought it'd be decent. This is like the low profile one. If you ever do get one, double bucket. Someone on YouTube told me about that. Because the single 5-gallon bucket, it has so much suction, it actually just collapses the bucket. Yeah. So, that's deep pour resin. That's what I need. I don't remember the ratios are on the bottle, I think. Do I have any red Solo cups to mix it in? I think I'm out. I haven't done any resin work in a long time. I think I'm out of Solo cups. Yeah. Don't have any more. So, I don't know if I have a little container. It's not full of sawdust. Maybe I won't be doing the resin work tonight. I won't be on Wednesday. I'm volunteering with the band. Sawdust everywhere. They're hosting a regional. It's not really a competition because they're not competing against each other, but it's they get graded on how well they perform 3 pieces of music that they prepare ahead of time, and then they have to sight read a piece. They get 5 minutes to look at a piece of music. They're not allowed to touch their instruments. The band director gives them direction, and then after 5 minutes up, they play it and see how well they can play it, basically sight reading it. Our band has gotten a top grade every year for the last 5 or 6 years, and this year they get to host the event. So I'm volunteering to help with that tomorrow and Wednesday. It's going to be from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. It's going to be 13-hour days. Had a shop vac like that self-destruct because of vacuum pressure. Yeah, like I'm surprised I haven't killed this one yet. I killed my shop vac branded one. But I had that I bought it used, and I think I had it for probably 7 years, maybe longer than that. It's been a long time. But I bought this one last year after that one died. This Craftsman, it's done pretty well. But it definitely takes a good suction. But what I have noticed is, it didn't help that yesterday when I used it, I actually filled up the 5-gallon bucket like all the way to the top. And so I did get some dust and debris inside the vacuum canister itself. But even when I don't fill it all the way up, some of it bypasses. It happens. Not nearly as bad as if it was just the filter. Yeah. So, do I have anything in the house where I can mix resin? Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I have. And all this random crap. Oh, you know what I do? Oh, we'll see. Getting around to cleaning stuff, you find all kinds of interesting things, including, hopefully there's no spiders down here. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and now I have the right tools to do it. Birch logs. From you, Dad. That I wanted to turn into coasters. I never had the right saw to do it, and now I do. So that's something I'll be doing soon, is making a bunch of coasters out of that. But I thought I had some mason jars. Maybe I don't. Hey, what's up, K McCall? Oh, Smallwood Lot. Do I owe you anything? They are a seller. Who's a seller? Oh, you mean sell? Yeah. I got you. Yeah, I can't remember the birch coaster. Yeah, I got you now. Sorry, I was not really picking up what you were throwing down there. Do I have anything I can use? So I used to have a bunch of mason jars because I used to make redneck chandeliers, candelabras, but I don't have any anymore. I don't think. Not sure what I have down there. These cans would I would have to do it twice. I don't want to do that. Yeah, there's not enough volume there for that. Yeah, no, I'd have to do it 2 or 3 times. Although I'll probably I can probably do it in one shot. It's gonna be a thick pour, but this is deep pour resin anyway, up to 2 inches thick. So like I got out a bunch of things that I owed people finally. Of course, the shipping company mixed up the labels and stuff got sent to the wrong people, and then they had to send it to the right people. I'm just trying to play catch up because I know I owe people some stuff, and like I'm terrible for not getting it sent out in a decent time. But yeah. Anyway, I really don't have anything I can mix this resin in, but I really want to do it. Ooh, actually, I have. If I can clean it out. Oh man, I've got this old coffee can. I save those. I just gotta get all the sawdust out of it. I can just wipe that out. Yeah, we can do this. We can do this tonight. I really want to. This is a project I want to do for such a long time. Excuse me. I'll show you guys how I do it. If you've never used resin before and you've always wanted to, I highly recommend it. Although it's an expensive little kind of hobby. We'll say that. All right, cool. So I have a place to mix resin. That's step one. Step two is to get out this aluminum tape. Covered in sawdust, because everything's covered in sawdust. Find a knife. Cut a couple strips of this. Let's see here. A couple that are long. So I've found that this aluminum ducting tape works pretty well, but the resin will stick to it really, really, really good. So what will end up happening is when I go to peel it off, I'll still have like some of it will stick to the resin, and well, you guys can't see that because I don't have the camera turned over there. So some of it will stick to the resin. So I really need to decide which face of this is the face I don't want to cut, because what I'll end up doing is just shaving off a wee bit or just sanding the crap out of it. Yeah, I think I'll put the tape on this side. Of course, the back there. All right, so yeah, that red tape would not be a good choice for this project. All right, so what to do here is peel some of this back. What I'm going to attempt to do is make it not too much of an overlap. I guess it really doesn't matter because I'm going to end up sanding the crap out of it anyway. But putting that on there. What I want to do is try to make it as flat as possible and not have a divot. That's why I ripped it so long, so I could pull it tight. And really important, oh shoot, I've already put a off-gassing and power tools. Well, I don't know where the power tools part comes in, other than a sander. And the off-gassing, like, it doesn't really smell that. It's not that bad. I already kind of put a divot in there. I did not mean to do that. I wonder if I could spray that with some mold release, if that would work. I'm going to end up trimming that, so it really doesn't matter. Try to make it as flat as possible and not have, like, introduce a bubble into it, but I'm going to end up trimming that anyway. So honestly, it doesn't matter. The important thing, though, is getting a good seal, because I've done it before and it's leaked. So I don't want that to happen. That's for sure. So getting all around where it could potentially leak out there. And of course, you end up with like some cracks here and stuff that you don't notice until you fill it with resin, and then it seeps out. Let me get the other piece on there. I guess I only need 2. Is this one longer? This one's longer. Okay. Like, it really doesn't smell that bad. It's not, but maybe it's just the brand I use. I don't know. I haven't really noticed much of an issue with it at all. I'm going to try to get that. This overlap is super critical here, so I don't end up leaking. What I don't want to have happen, I've had happen in the past, is I pour the resin and it just starts leaking everywhere. So like I've got a gap right down there. I got to fix that. And I've got a gap in the overlap. Okay, let's try to get that on there as much as possible. So I'm going to fill in that little bit in the corner too. And just press it all up in there. I think I did it with 2 pieces of tape. Sweet. Why wouldn't the red tape work? Because it doesn't seal liquids very well. That's why. Ask me how I know that. Ended up with a radioactive spill one time because of that red tape. I'll get my other stuff. Oh, okay, as I'm across. So, but if you did it like, in your workshop, garage, whatever, like did the pour in there, and like honestly, the worst part about it is when you heat it to get the bubbles out, then it gasses a bit. But even that's not too bad. Well, I think if she has chronic bronchitis and things, then maybe she's a lot more sensitive. But it's really, really not that bad. I guess depending on the brand too, really helps. All right, so that's going to be. I think I'm all sealed up. We'll see. If this leaks, then I'm not, obviously. Yeah, that red tape, I mean, it's great tape, but as far as containing liquids, it's not great. And I just think the glue on it might be a little bit too much with the resin. But I could be completely off, too. Seeing as I've never tried it, I don't know. Ooh, that's interesting. Now, one thing I want to do, too, is once I fill it some of the way, I'm going to put in a couple pieces of bark, if I have some, which I'm pretty sure I do, down in there, just to give it a little bit more depth, make it look cool. But there we go. Do I have a nice flat surface? I do, my laser. Give it a little rub down just to make sure it's nice and flat. I don't have leaks. All right, now, regardless of whether you think you have it sealed or not, I recommend, highly recommend, putting it on something that's a surface you don't care about ruining, like a piece of cardboard or a box. Seeing as I'm gonna do this on the CNC here, I'd really like not to screw up my CNC table any more than it already is. So what I'm going to do is have a small box over here. It's full of electronic doodads. I've got a box right there. All right, so ultimately it's going to go inside of this cardboard box. I'll put it on the floor after I pour it. Let's put this tape away. I'll put it in a plastic coat box. Yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? I have one. That's a beautiful idea, even better than cardboard. Look at that. Where did I put those totes? I thought I put them right here. I have two of them. One of them I used to have filled with mineral oil. You know what? They're probably back in the corner over there. I could open the garage door. That would do it. Let's see what happens here, though, once I get it in. All right, so this stuff, read manual before use. Cool, I don't have the manual anymore. This is up to a 2-inch thick pour. This will work. Okay, good, that's still liquid too. I'm gonna have to look this stuff up because I don't know what the ratio is. So the other stuff that I normally use is a ratio of, it's 1-to-1. Elementary school, I've always been thinking, yeah, there you go. Hey, what's up, Tim? Let's see here. I gotta look this stuff up. So this is Magic Fly. Magic Fly Deep Pour. Two to one, okay. Wow, $170 for a, what was that, a 1-gallon kit? Wow. Oh no, it's a 3-gallon kit. Okay, 2 gallons of resin to 1 gallon of hardener. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio of resin to hardener. So I always overdo it. So I always end up mixing more than what I need, but that's fine. Like you end up with resin unless you're very, very accurate with your measurements, but I don't feel like doing crazy calculus to figure out the volume of this right now. Ooh. That would have been a leak. Hold it up to the light, see if I can see a light through it. Okay. I think we're good now. So, yeah, without doing crazy calculus to calculate all that, I'm just going to kind of guess. If I was so inclined, I could fill that with water pour the water out and figure out what volume I would need, but I'm not. I'm just going to guess and see what happens. So, in order to get a 2-to-1 ratio, is that 2-to-1 by volume or by weight? By volume. Son of a gun. Okay, well, that's fine. I've got this can here, which has these little rings on it. So I can figure that out. If I go to the first bottom ring and then the rest resin, that is 2-to-1. Super accurate measurements here. That's 3 centimeters. Yeah, there we go. So these rings on the inside, that first ring is twice what that. So I fill that with resin and the rest with hardener. I'm going to way overdo it, but that's fine. I don't really care. Now, important thing to do when working with resin is wear gloves. For sure. Where did I put my gloves? I thought I put them away. I did not. Oh, here they are. And let's see here. What color should I do this? What color should I fill this? I was going to do blue. There's a cobalt blue I really like. It's almost the color of these gloves. But once I add it to the resin, it's a much brighter color. I'm just really partial to blue. I don't know. I guess it's my favorite color. So what color should I do? You see mostly grayscale? Yeah, my son as well. I got him one of those t-shirts that's like a pie chart of different shades of gray. And it's color blindness joke. Just wing it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, gloves, wicked important because this stuff gets really sticky and nasty pretty quickly. All right, so 2-to-1 resin to hardener. I'm not even going to bother with the pump because I'd be pumping this forever. So with the leftover resin, I can do my set of dolphins I've got left over. I've got a mold for that. Almost had a pilot's license in the Marines. Wow. Well, thank you for your sacrifice. All right. All right, so I poured the resin in up to the first little notch and then the hardener to the second notch, and I have screwed up that ratio at some point. And then we mixy. Now, usually the instructions will tell you to mix for a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I just kind of mix until it makes a bunch of bubbles, and then the bubbles start to go away. Try to scrape the sides and get all that hardener and resin mixed in there. Show you guys what that looks like here in a minute. It's going to put a bunch of air bubbles inside of this, but that's what the heat gun's for later. And depending on the look you're going for, the bubbles might not be a bad thing. Your height, and then they found out I don't see reds or greens. Yeah, well, that'll kind of do it. I know my son was really upset. He was about 6 years old, 7 years old. He wanted to be an astronaut. And then when he found out he was colorblind, he did some research, and he started crying because he couldn't be a pilot because he was colorblind, so he couldn't be an astronaut. And then I told him, I said, dude, you don't have to be a pilot to be an astronaut. They take engineers too, and other people. It's not just pilots. So he was a little less upset after that. So are you too tall or too short? One thing I learned while I was in the Navy was size restraints. They're more suggestions than anything else. So I was on submarines. If you're over 6 feet tall, like they don't limit you, but man, it sucks being on a submarine. If you're over, I'm right at 6 feet tall, and there was times where I was bonking my heads into things in the overhead that shorter people didn't have to worry about. But my first captain, he was like 6'3", 6'4". I don't know how he got around the ship as easily as he did. Because I mean, he had to walk around like this. And we actually had a guy on my second boat who was so tall. I mean, he was probably about the same. Different class of ship, a lot smaller ship in my second boat. But he was so tall, he didn't fit in the rack. Either his feet dangled out or his head was out of the rack. And when he took a shower, where he was at in berthing, he'd be sticking his head out of the shower, and then to get his lower body, and get an upper body, stick his feet out of the shower. He basically, it was like, dude, what are you doing on a submarine? Looks for colorblind for sniper. 6'2" and shrinking. Yeah, well, we're all shrinking. It happens with age and deterioration, all that. All right, so hopefully you can see that. I got a bunch of little bubbles up inside there. Kind of hard to see. So I'm going to say that's well and truly mixed at this point. It's been a couple minutes. And I'm going to have to swap these gloves out. Oh, no, I can just wipe them off. One moment. So I'm gonna go with the blue. I like the blue. So I've got this stuff right here. Muric, probably German. Who knows? Ooh, magenta would be kind of cool. Yeah, both my favorite blue. Although, what do I have back here? This is one I haven't really used much. Ocean blue. That's really light blue. The one I really like is cobalt. And I've used a lot of this stuff. What else do I have here? Caribbean. Glacier. Yeah, I'll just stick with the... Actually, ooh, you know what? Nah, I'll just do it this way. You've been in subs. Yeah, well. True statement. True statement. You know what they say about submariners. 140 guys go down. 70 couples come back up. It ain't gay underway. So I don't really measure this stuff. I just kind of put some in, and then if it looks right, then I go with it. So I'm going to drop some of that powder in there. And mixy. Let's see what it looks like. Is it opaque enough? If it's too opaque, not a whole lot I can do about it. It will... Oh, yeah, I did too much. That's all right. I'm looking for the color, not so much the transparency. I could do a swirl of two colors. I've never tried it, but you got to mix two different resins to do that. Oh no, see, so as I drip that down, that's pretty transparent. That should be good. It's hard to tell when it's in the can how transparent it is, but that's, yeah, I think that's gonna be good, especially if I stick something down inside of it. Yeah, there we go. All right, so the color doesn't take much to mix it in. That looks really, really cool. I love what that looks like. I don't need to wipe this down. All right, so now I do want to put down something before I don't know where my plastic boxes went. So I'm just going to use this cardboard. Oh, I've got a scrap piece of wood, actually. No, I'll use the cardboard. No, I will use the wood. Wait, I just can't quite figure out what I want to do today. Yeah, the scrap piece of wood will work. It's going on the floor no matter what. So, but that'll, just in case it immediately leaks, I can move it without destroying the top of my CNC. So let's get a good look at that. Should be a good vantage point there. What's up, Old Path? Yeah, it says 7357. I thought it said 757. Resin with resin injection, yeah. I've done multicolor resin before, but you got to mix it as two different batches. And kind of pour one, then pour the other, and give it a little swirly swirl. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, it looks like it's decent on the camera. Let me just shift it around a little bit. So let's see what happens when I pour this. Oh, I can get rid of the mixing stick. I don't need that anymore. Put that in the bin. And give it a pour. Nope, that's going to be very opaque. That's all right, though. I might turn these into, or I might turn this into like an electronic candle. Put some LEDs inside of it, like drill out the center of it, or a pair of them. We'll see. Do I want to overfill? Oh, I might have actually guessed a pretty decent volume here. I don't have a whole lot left over. I want to get that corner. And then I want to fill in all the little cracks and crevices and things that are on here. Just going to overfill it a bit. There we go. Don't think I have enough to do my warfare insignia with what's left over, so I might just chunk this can. I used to have some other molds to do like coasters and stuff, but ooh, I see a spot where I didn't put tape, and I need it now. On the outside here. Let me grab that. I have a piece right here that I didn't use. I can chuck on there real quick before this starts leaking, because it will leak like crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen the John Malecki video on YouTube where he did like a $10,000 resin pour to do a waterfall table. Poured the resin in the mold he built. They didn't check it for leaks beforehand. Let it go for the weekend, and then he comes back after a 3-day weekend, and it's all over the floor. It all leaked out. So I'm going to go ahead and seal that up to make sure that don't leak. All right, I've already got bubbles coming to the top. Something else I found this weekend was one of my heat guns. So I usually let it sit for a couple minutes, then I add heat to it, pour a little bit more in, because like it's gonna pull, it's gonna get down inside the pores and everywhere in the wood. Displace air, those will come up as air bubbles. And sometimes you have to pour a little bit more. I overfilled it a bit, so I don't think I'm going to have to add any more to it, but we'll see. So let that sit for just a minute. You see the bubblies? Bubbles. Can you resaw resin make matched panels for a table lamp or something? Yeah, you can. I mean, I've taken a resin block like this and put it. I've cut on a bandsaw, table saw, my planer. I've done it lots of different ways. Now it'll gum up a planer like crazy because you're basically just cutting up plastic, but I've done it. But yeah, you can definitely resaw. If you got a bandsaw or something, cut that up and then make matched up whatever. Absolutely. All right. Let me find the heat gun. It should be over here. There it is. Found it. Do I have power? Yes, I do. It's been forever since I've used this heat gun. Hopefully it still works. All right. Blow all the sawdust out of it first. You can do this with a blowtorch too. I like using an electric heat gun though, because it does have some of the airflow there, which kind of moves everything around, pushes it a little bit, gets it really shaken up a bit. Now that does stink to high heaven. Give it a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It'll soak into the wood itself, which is why I said sometimes you have to add a little bit more. But I overfilled it a pretty decent amount. I don't think I'm going to have to add any more, but we'll see. And really the best way to do it is to, how long does it take to cure? For something this deep, this is probably going to be a good 2-day cure. If you're doing just like a surface coat, or I've done a lot of welcome signs where I've carved with my CNC the letters and filled it, but I only go, I don't know, maybe 0.2 of an inch deep, sometimes a full 1/4 inch. And that, like within 12 to 24 hours, it's cured. at least hard enough that I can then do the rest of the finish work. But this here will probably be a full 2 days. So I'm going to try to get on live on Thursday and show you guys the results of this, and then finish it up, and maybe I'll give it away. I'll cut it into chunks and turn them into candle holders. I'll give those away Thursday or Friday, whatever day I end up getting back on. I have time to do that. But yeah, so a deep pour like this, it definitely takes a couple days. And if you don't get your ratio right with the resin and the hardener, then like I've done a few pours of my, actually I'll show you guys, my dolphins. I have one right here. This one I haven't cleaned up yet. So the last time I did anything resin, I used the excess for this right here. Oh, right here. Let me zoom out. There we go. Yeah, so my dolphins, but like it's very, very flexible. It didn't, like I didn't do the ratio quite right. I mean, it kind of flexes back to the position it was in, but again, it doesn't. So I had the ratio off just a little bit. And if you're off a little bit, it'll do things like that. It'll flex on you. So you got to pay attention to whatever the manufacturer tells you. Different brands or different ratios. Like this one's a 2-to-1. This came recommended on the Amazon, I believe. Or I'd seen somebody use it. The one I normally use, which is not a deep pour resin, I use it for my shallow pours for signs and things, is, what's the brand here? This is Pro Marine. They do make a deep pour. I just decided to try a different brand, but I probably should have stayed with the Pro Marine. But that Pro Marine, at least the shallow pour, is a 1-to-1 ratio, which makes it, and you can do it by weight. So I use a scale and tear it out, pour some resin in, say 50 or 100 grams, and then I tear it again and do 50 or 100 grams of the hardener, and it makes it super, super easy to do. And let's see here. I think I've over poured it just right. Even if I didn't, I'm going to end up sanding this down flat, and yeah, it'll be fine. And then I'll do, actually I'm going to use this stuff right here on the top, this hard wax oil. I've never used this before on resin, but I watched somebody else do it, and we'll see how that works when I do the final sanding and everything. Oh, I've already got bubbles on the edges coming up. So you kind of have to, although those bubbles really won't matter that much because I am going to trim this down and sand it, but you kind of have to come back every 5 to 10 minutes, at least for the first half hour or so, to get those bubbles out. And it looks like I might actually need a little bit more now because I'm going to sand it. I'm not really worried about that divot there. I probably should have built a box for that, at least taped up a piece of wood to keep that flat because it's bowing out a little bit. But again, I'm gonna trim it down. I'm gonna square all this up when it's done, and that won't matter too much. But I'm not seeing any leaks, so that's good. And actually, I can leave it on the, I feel pretty confident I can leave that on the CNC on this board, and it'll be fine. Now we got more bubbles coming up. Yeah, over the first half hour to an hour, you'll see little tiny bubbles coming up, especially around the edges of the wood, just as air gets displaced from the inside. It's a exothermic reaction, so it does warm up, it does heat up, and as it does, those air bubbles, it fills in those little pockets, it gets really, really thin, and the air bubbles come up, and you just got to kind of pop those with some hot air. And yeah, that's it. Does taping it do anything for bubbles? No. Not that I'm aware of. The taping it is really just because I don't have a good way to build a mold. Like, I don't want to waste melamine if I even had any for something like this. If I had, like, if I was doing the same size block every time, I would actually like invest in a silicone mold. But they're fairly expensive. I mean, a mold that would fit something like this would cost me anywhere from $50 to $75. And like, if I was producing a bunch of these, say I was making candle holders or coasters or something, sure, it'd be worth it. But I'm not. This is a scrap wood project right here. And I don't have a bunch of pieces that are about this size. I just happen to have this piece. This was the sister piece to another one I did a couple of years ago, actually. And I don't remember what happened to that piece. I don't know what I did with it. It might have ended up, who knows where. But yeah, it's like, if I were to, once I cut this up, you guys will see, like, and cut the pieces out for the candles or whatever. You could probably upsell that quite a bit. And for maybe, I don't know, I don't remember what I paid for this resin, but we'll say at most $5 worth of resin, right? This block here, if I cut it into even like 1-inch blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bet that's about 10 inches there. Yeah, 11 inches. So I could get 10 1-inch blocks that I'm only cutting into about 1/2 to 3/4 inch to put the recess for the candles. And I don't even have to go that deep, but either way, I could get 10 of those and sell them for probably $5 a piece. So not bad. Oh, tapping it. Yes, tapping it. Sorry. Yeah, I can't read. It does help get the bubbles out a bit. But I don't typically like do much of that. I just let the heat do its thing. And like, if I weren't going to sand it, if this were the top coat of it, so sometimes what I've done is I've done an infill of colored resin, and then over the top of the piece, I just do clear resin once the colored resin cures. The infill piece, I'm really particular about the bubbles, right? Because once I put the top coat resin on there, I can't do anything about those bubbles. Once it's done, it's done. And I mean, I guess I can sand it and do whatever to it, but that top coat, I will do everything I can to make sure there are no bubbles. Because if I'm just doing like essentially a tabletop look to the resin for a clear top coat, you don't want to sand it or do anything else to it, because then you have to fill all those little sand marks. It just ends up looking cloudy. It's a real pain in the butt. So I try to make it perfect with that. And that I will kind of shake, shimmy, tap, come back I'll stay up late even if I have to come back and get all those bubbles out as much as possible. So, all right, well, I think that's it for tonight. It's I gotta go to bed. I gotta be up early tomorrow. But thanks for hanging out, and we'll see how that turns out Thursday or Friday. So in the meantime, I will see you guys on the next one. and we'll see how that turned out. So cool. Come visit me Thursday or Friday whenever I'm on, and we'll turn that into some candle holders, and maybe we'll give them away. Cool. Thanks for hanging out, and go make something.